Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Friday, the 2nd of October 2015, this is John Faraclas from allaboutshipping.co.uk in London with the latest on the markets, the indexes, and the geopolitics affecting same. The BDI, the Baltic Dry Index, closed up just 1 point at 889 points, which is 54 points down since last week's 943. So, volatility, and what a gap between today's closing, last week's closing, and 2013 December's closing. So we're approaching 2 years, and still the market is below the 2,000 point mark, not to say the 1,000. So be on guard. The BCI, the capers, the most volatile of all sizes, was up 20 points at 1,931, which is minus 93 points since last week's 2,024 points. Caution. The BPI, approaching the level of 700, the barrier of the 700 points, closed down 3 points at 701, which is 43 points down since last week's 744 points. The BSI, the Supras, down 4 points at 691, down 42 points since last week's 733 points. And finally, the last of the dries, the BHSI was 392 points, down 4 since yesterday and 16 since last week's 408 points. So again, here you can see we have a drop of the barriers of the 700 at the BSI index and a drop of the 400 points at the BHSI. Different and mixed feelings with the wet cargoes. The BDTI, the dirty tanker index, was up just 10 points at 725 and up 15 points since last week, 705 points. Not bad. But not the same for the cleans, minus 5 points at 506 and minus 28 points at, since the last closing of 534 last week. This is an overall 28 points down. So here we got a down market. The oil, the price of oil in the region of $45. I said the word 20 because it's in my mind. We might see the price of oil down at $20. My intimidation came out, I just have, my intuition on this, but you never know. This will trigger, of course, hell, but we live with hell. In any event, the situation is grave. Geopolitics, the number one issue, like in all our last news, is the migrants, remains the top news. Shame for the politicians of both sides of the Atlantic. They make it a mess. You can read in the written report what we are saying there. We have to curb Turkey. We have to stop this, and I guess that in combination with the Syrian issue, the entire Middle East will be blown up if we don't stop it here and now. Okay? Putin's entry in the melee there will create further destabilization. Of course, everybody wants to fight ISIS, but it's another message of what he's gonna do in Ukraine too. The Greek new government has sworn in, as we know. We expect to have on coming Sunday, the voting for the new Speaker of the House, but both the Syriza and the Ranel coalition partners must make a break. The important issue is investments in Greece for development. And even if this colossal debt of 1 trillion, I repeat this, we have written in the past, nobody dares say a word about this. Even this is written off. You tell me who's gonna come to Greece under this regime which do not support the proper private investment will have further development. Who is going to come to invest? Not even the Greeks, not even the foreigners. So it's important. Syriza must understand one thing. We do not live in an ideological life anymore. We live in the business life. And business means money, and money means business. Okay? That's very, very important. Other issues which are, of course, of importance. Germany will wait to see what Mrs. Merkel has to say about the scandal of the Volkswagen. We'll just wait to see. It will be interesting what Frau Merkel will say. Ukraine, things, as you know, are under the umbrellas and of Mr. Putin. He calls the shots there. I said earlier on about the intervention in Syria, so this is very important. What is the message that is being passed there? China on a downfall. Coming now to the Islamic State. At all costs, we must finish them off before it becomes too much of it. Okay, that's very, very important. Portugal is going to the polls this coming Sunday in 48 hours, so we will know what's going to happen. We feel that the center-right wing government will win the votes. We're not sure if there's going to be an overwhelming majority, but this is, for us, the winners. Lloyd's List Global Awards of 2015 was once again a great event at the National Maritime Museum. Congratulations both to the winners as well as to the runners-up, and of course the most important thing was the award for safety of life at sea, saving human life at sea, which was the first award to be announced. Now, other issues. The Danish Maritime Technology Conference coming up this week, so does Capital Link's major event, which you can see in other pages of the site, on the 7th of October in One More Gate in London, shipping offshore. It's a great event, you can see. Finally, we would like to remind you that our upcoming events are upcoming for everybody, and do please log on and see what is coming up. We still invite you to visit Greece and its islands to counter to all these losses, the financial losses that people have. And of course, this evening we remind you of these lovely islands of Kythnos and the island of Milos in the Cyclades. Both are on the northwest of the group there of islands, and in the south it will be lovely. Greece is the country for all seasons, blessed by the gods. We reiterate our view that Turkey must be curbed, and this is not a nice policy to upset neighboring Greece and the entire region by allowing the traffickers to operate from its coastlines and send these human wrecks to the west, as we call it. They should nestle them there. And again, all these people who come from the Middle East, they must remain in the Middle East in the closest proximity, or within the closest proximity of their war-torn countries, but not to Europe. I think it's too much of a provocation, and this will destroy the European and its European countries' social cohesion. This is a very important issue. With this, we wish you a lovely weekend. Be on guard, enjoy the good weather. Of course, in the UK, particularly around London, we have a gorgeous weather. Take advantage of it. This is John Faraclas from allaboutshipping.co.uk. Over and out.